welcome to Stream of Gaming, episode 42. We are a semi-weekly podcast on gaming, film, music, and pop culture from an artist's perspective. As always, if you'd like to support the podcast, please visit patreon.com/streamofgaming. The more help we get, the more platforms we can publish in, and the more content we can bring to you. As usual, I'm Brent.
I'm Kyle.
And I'm Marcus.
And we have a sort of an interesting idea for our topic this week. But before we go any further, I wanted to just bring something to attention here because I have a fun little story. I'm in a choir that does various community things. And for the last couple of years, at around this time of year, the Chicago White Sox invite us to come and sing the national anthem for a game. So we did this last Saturday here. And it was great, and it had fun and everything. And most of us stayed afterwards for the game. And during the game, you know how in most, not just baseball, but basically any sport event thing, they will have, where there's a break in the game, they'll have some cameras aimed at the crowd, and they'll end up on the Jumbotron, and everyone will laugh, and they'll look them up on the screen, yada, 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 that sort of thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes during the game, they will have these breaks, and they will have, I can't believe this is a thing, the Fortnite dance break.
Oh my god.
And they will impose a Fortnite character on the screen who is going through a looped dance animation, as though the person who the real life person who is next to them on the screen is then supposed to imitate the dance, and they'll go throughout the arena, and they will just get a bunch of kids, and eventually, at the beginning, they are completely like, what is going on? And by the end, there's one kid who has like that one dance down perfectly, and they zoom in on him, and he's doing this thing. It's like, this is a goddamn Chicago Sox game. What is happening?
Fortnite is weird, man. Like,
we're at that odd stage where we're old enough where we could probably understand what that actually is, and at the same time not know what it is.
I know what it is,
and we know what it is, so it makes you cringe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I work at a grocery store, and there are many kids that come through with their parents, and some of them are there clearly to get attention, and so they'll just like stop in the middle of the grocery store and do one of these Fortnite dances.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, oh my god! Or I saw a kid on their parents' phone or on their whatever iPhone, like whatever their device was or something. I don't know. And they're playing Fortnite.
Yeah.
In the grocery store.
Well, I mean, if I was a kid, I would be playing a game on my phone when mom was doing shopping.
Like that kind of. I mean, that's like online game. You know, it's like if it used to be. Go back like 3, 4, 5 years. All the kids were all playing Minecraft all the time. So like that makes sense because like you could potentially just, I know it's online, but you could potentially also just have your own little world thing you're doing. But this is like totally different.
Oh yeah, I see kids do that all the time when I'm at work. They'll be sitting up talking to me, and I'm trying to have a conversation with them, or at least with mom and dad, and I'm sitting there and I'm looking over, and the kids are just sitting there flossing. I'm like, can you not?
Oh my god! Yeah,
my coworkers and I comment about this all the time. We comment about it all the time, and I just kind of straight up went, and I wonder if they would stop if I did it back to them.
Yeah, they'd be like, "What?" Yeah, maybe that's what it's going to take. It's going to take some like 20 to 30 something year old to do the thing back to them, and it'll be like Facebook, where like Facebook used to be for all the youngins, and then all of our parents started doing it, and then like very few people do Facebook the way that they used to.
Here's my idea is why this could be, doing it back could actually be a problem. It's either going to make the parents a little upset, or the kid might actually cry because schools were banning it because it was because they were they were banning it because it was promoting bullying. I was like, how does that promote bullying?
No.
But okay, or more, it was a form of intimidation. It's like,
oh my god!
I'm sorry.
Flossing is not intimidating. Flossing is just silly.
Any of the Fortnite dances, if someone's doing them, even in game, I'm just like, that's not intimidating. It's just showing off how much money you've spent in the game. And if you're doing it in real life, congratulations, you can dance. I cannot.
Yeah, I promise if I ever see someone doing a T-pose in public, I will take a picture and be like, who the hell is doing this?
Kyle, I just have an idea. I'm going to come up to your store and I'm just going to T-pose over when I see a kid flossing in the store. I just want you to follow me with your phone as if you're doing your work. And as soon as we see a kid flossing, we're going to turn and look at him, make sure we make eye contact, T-pose, stare at him, and then walk away.
And then a gentleman's dab.
But the other fear is if you do it back to the kids, that's going to encourage them even more because it's like, oh,
Yeah,
I found someone who knows what this is, and they're older than me, and they think it's cool. Oh God, no! The reverse psychology did not work. This is backfired. It annoys the ever-loving hell out of me when I see kids do that. It's like, can you sit still for like 5 minutes?
No.
You're in a store for like 15, 20 minutes.
Oh, I know.
So,
anyway,
we had this idea for a topic of there's a lot of side characters in games that are actually really, really great. And wouldn't it be wonderful if they had their own games? And I was wondering if you guys had any ideas to start us off on what side characters you'd like to see have their own games.
Let's see here.
Oh man, I'm just going through a bunch of thinking about a bunch of games that we played growing up, and I think Mumbo from Banjo-Kazooie.
Oh yeah.
A killer, spin-off game.
Mumbo Jumbo, yeah.
Either that or what was it, man? He would be really he'd have some interesting things. Either like collecting things to turn things into other things, or just being magical in the same world, spin-off game kind of thing. I know in Tui you get to play. I think do you get to play as him? I remember there's like times where you might have to move him around. That was just like popped in my head. There was other ones I was thinking.
So a couple of episodes back, may have even been like 6 or more months back, we had this little aside where we said that Oscar from Gears of War 4 deserved his own game.
He needs to have his side game. Like I don't just get on it. Who's I forgot who the developers of Gears is.
It's the Coalition. Well, our idea at the time was that Oscar needs to have like his own version of Farmville, except that it's like a cross between Farmville and Plants vs. Zombies, where Oscar goes around and shoots zombies that are trying to invade his perfect garden. And he's just like yelling his obscenities at them while doing so.
No, I don't think it was that. I think what he needs to do, for those of you who have not played Gears of War 4, you need to this happens in like the first act or so of the game. Is Oscar gets eaten up by this monster thing, and you're like, well, damn, the best character so far in the entire game just got murdered. And then thankfully, spoiler alert here, later on, actually after the end of the game, you find out that he finds his way out. And I thought a great spin-off game would be having to do something with him being inside this monster. Like what happened during Oscar, like while Oscar was inside this monster.
Well, you had suggested at one point, like the reverse of Surgeon Simulator, but he's trying to get out.
How to break out of him.
But it would have been a very short game because it was just like a chainsaw and he'd be out.
Thinking of childhood games, I'd love to see a game about, because being the big Pokemon fan I am, either about like Professor Oak, where you're one of the Elite Four members. Like this would certainly be something that would be more along the lines of the Switch, because you can't really have it would be a totally different spin on the game because you're pretty much locked into at the very end. These are going to be in your party no matter what.
Well, I think the Professor option would be super cool. Like because they've already done spin-off games of like, here you're a Pokemon Ranger, but like what if they had like, man, it would take so much time, but like what if they had made a whole new region that had completely different Pokemon, and you were a professor who was getting sent there to study, and your tasks were not so much about capturing and like training and beating battles and stuff like that and earning badges or whatever the heck you're doing, but your goals are more aligned with observation. It could be like a mix between regular line Pokemon games and like Pokemon Snap, or like where you have to do observation-y type things. Which I mean, granted, it sounds like work, but I feel like there's enough of a niche audience that would definitely be on top of that.
Oh, it could be something along the lines of like the Hey You Pikachu stuff too, where you do have some interesting interactions.
Yeah.
Where it's not so much of there's an actual story. There might be some sublying story behind it, but
Yeah.
essentially you're just sitting around just trying to figure all this out.
Yeah, exactly. Or like try to figure out like what Pokemons have like what abilities, and then like when you find a certain, like when you unlock a certain Pokemon's ability, then that allows you to go to new areas, this and that. Be interesting. That I think that's a cool spin. Dang, I was thinking of one. Oh,
I have something though,
yeah, go
because
for it.
there's been, of course, quite a bit of uproar about the lack of Waluigi being in Smash Brothers. So the thing is, of all of the Mario brothers, between Mario, Luigi, and Wario and him, Waluigi is the only one that has never had his own game, and I have no idea what kind of game it would be.
I think they're still kind of, my theory behind why that's not really happening is because they're still trying to flush out his actual character. Because he was just created as a mirror to Luigi for some game a long time ago.
It was for like
I think it was
Mario
like
Tennis.
I think it was the first Mario Tennis.
Mario Tennis or something like that.
Yeah.
Because they had Daisy at the time and Wario was to Mario, but they had no one to Luigi.
Yeah. Well, if there was a game, here's my 2 cents about that. So if anyone of you has played the new Mario Tennis game, which is currently the only game on Switch, and probably will be for a while, the only game that you can actually control Waluigi. His like special smash, if for lack of a better term, special smash of tennis ball. It has him like doing some spins with like a rose, and then he gets a rose in his mouth, and like some of his special moves are like him kind of dancing. I think
he has a dating game.
I think not a dating game. That'd be I mean, it could happen. There's probably some fanfic out there. But I think it would be really fun because of the dancing element that they make like a side-scrolling beat 'em up, as in the Michael Jackson game.
Oh,
but
God.
It's Waluigi.
It's Waluigi moonwalking and hitting stuff with whatever.
Yeah, like he like, or maybe like a Beautiful Joe type thing, but it's Waluigi, and he attacks people with his dancing and his mustache.
That would be very interesting right there. That would be beyond interesting.
Yeah, I think that'd be really cool. I think if you yeah, that's definitely, if we're gonna have anyone comment on anything, I want to see if we get comments. Leave a comment as to what you think would be a great Waluigi game. Like what kind of things would he do? Like what? Because we have kind of established that, Mario saves kingdoms. Luigi is kind of does similar things, but can jump higher usually, and
is more scared.
Wario is more about the money
and farts.
And the greed and whatnot. So what does Waluigi do other than play tennis and golf and occasional other sports?
And joins in on the Mario parties.
Yeah. So I had a thought while you were doing that too. So one of my all-time favorite Nintendo games in general are any of the Legend of Zelda games. But some of the best side characters, I think especially one of the best side characters is the baby from Twilight Princess.
Oh God, Mallow. Oh my God,
Mallow is the fucking best.
Oh,
and I think there's an
obvious way to go.
Like a store
economic
simulator.
sim.
Oh yeah, like it's a sim thing, or it's like Moonlighter, but without the adventuring. And it would just be Mallow creeping people and tricking people into buying stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that would be great.
Yes.
Or either that, or maybe it is like Moonlighter, but whenever you're working at the store, you're Mallow, and then whenever you go into the field, you're one of the other siblings.
You can also sort of see like Ingo being like the disgruntled crabby version of Stardew Valley, where he's just like,
Oh
got
yeah,
this
or just
freaking
any
stable.
like Harvest Moon. It's like Harvest Moon, but with horses, like only horses, and you're terrible to them.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's pretty much him.
um,
Oh, it's a game about horses, except you're terrible.
Except you're terrible to them. I
That
mean,
sounds like
they're-
Skyrim.
They're yeah, exactly. It sounds exactly like Skyrim. Skyrim is all the sub games that Zelda characters could be.
Yeah.
Speaking of Skyrim, the one with on the topic of characters I'd like to see a game for, Ulfric motherfucking Stormcloak.
Oh yeah.
How
Fuck
does
yeah.
a Jarl learn how to use Thum?
How does a Jarl learn to Jarl?
I mean,
Jarl gonna
first
Jarl?
he eats,
What?
and then he learns how
First-
to Jarl. It's the
first
more
he-
advanced form.
It's true.
But you know, he's pretty much the outside of the Greybeards. He is the only character that in it before the DLC, I believe,
Mhm.
that can use Thum.
Yeah, man.
So how did he come to learn that and then get his rise to power? Well, granted, we know how he got his rise to power. He just shouted the previous Jarl out and just murdered him by screaming at him.
Yeah, that's a
But
thing.
still, that'd be interesting just to see of how he learned to get that power. How long has he had it?
Yeah, backstories.
Yes,
Bethesda
Because-
get on that.
they got a lot of stuff on their plate right now.
I think they
I'm
got
just
too
gonna
much on their
leave 'em
plate right
alone.
now.
There are so many different. This is a discussion that could probably go on forever.
Oh, it really could.
Yeah.
I'm trying to branch out, but I keep on coming back to like other like Zelda characters. I was thinking
branch out in terms of how do you mean branch out though?
I don't know, like other games that I've played recently, because like when I was thinking of the topic, because like the idea of side characters in general came. Gerbs had mentioned it in a previous episode, and I'm like, okay, but then when it was just like, oh well, what are you gonna talk about? And Gerbs was unable to make it tonight. I was just like, well, what if we don't talk about our favorite side characters, but we talk about what games they'd be in. And my first, I don't know why my mind went here first, but I'm like, man, what if Navi had a game?
That was what I was thinking too.
That was my
How would that
first
be?
thought. Like, not even joking. Like, I'm like, what would it literally be like an annoying? Would it be like the new Untitled Goose Game for
Oh my
Switch?
god, that's exactly what I was just thinking.
Would it be like just like an annoyance
go
game?
around
Like
being a
you
dick
just
to
like
people.
fly around scenarios and you just try to annoy the fuck out of everybody.
Oh my
That'd
God.
be funny as all get
Oh,
up.
that'd be
Oh yeah.
nuts.
Hey, listen.
Hey, listen, shut
All
up.
over the place. Knock into things. Like, yeah, and if people that are listening, if you haven't seen Untitled Goose Game, you should check it out. It looks quite interesting. I don't know why it's called Untitled Goose Game. I don't know why they just call it.
Reasons.
They should just call it
Because
Goose Game.
What do you
or something?
Yeah, but other than Goose Game, what do you call a game about a goose that is a dick to people?
Goat
Simulator?
It's Goat Simulator, but it's with a goose.
All right, I'm checking out the
except
trailer to this.
this
Oh my
seems
God.
more.
So-
This seems more realistic.
So Goose
like
Simulator
the goose doesn't
okay.
do like things with its tongue to like fling itself places.
Coming in 2019 to home computers and Nintendo Switch. Okay.
Yeah, it looks
I'm
really
watching a
interesting.
trailer for this. I've not heard of this. I haven't been on my
Oh man, it's so
week,
good.
but
It looks so good. It's just like literally just a goose being a dick to people, which is just like what it
and
what
you are
geese
a
do.
horrible goose. I want to play this game now. But like a Jaws theme, as this goose waddles through everything, he's still. Oh,
So this would be a perfect Navi game, and I think Nintendo missed out now.
There is a game that I imagine either didn't release outside of Japan or got so little attention in the US that no one had heard of it. The only reason I even know it exists is because of a Nintendo Power article, which on its own, the fact that it was in Nintendo Power kind of says that Nintendo may have kind of dropped the ball on their family-friendly control. there's a game called Mr. Mosquito for the GameCube.
Oh yeah.
And it's about
I remember that.
It's about being a mosquito in a Japanese household, and you have to, over the course of like either a week or a summer or something like that, get as much blood as possible out of the various members of this family, whilst just like horrifying and running amok. And
not dying.
Not getting squashed or anything. The reason that this was of particular note for being a Nintendo Power is that one of the screenshots that Nintendo Power used was like you just landing on some girl's boob while she's in the shower. It's like, okay, This is what I'm gonna do. This like, okay. So like that seems like a jumping off point for a Navi game, except maybe without the blood sucking, but with everything else.
This game is very interesting.
Is that the Goose Game? Yeah.
Well, no, the Mosquito. I remember them showing that the controls look clunky as all get up.
Oh yeah, I bet.
Good. I just want to know who thought that was going to be a good idea.
Someone in
Mr.
Japan.
Mosquito? Yeah, I don't know. Who was the producers on that?
Looking it up now because
because
computers. Mr. Mosquito Game.
Made by Zoom. Zoom Incorporated is a Japanese company based in Sapporo. They're apparently still around.
Recently?
They're apparently still around. They are not closed from the looks of it. See.
I gotta check that out just to.
Oh, maybe they're not. The most recent game that I see from them is called Fantastic Cube, which is a WiiWare game from 2010. And there was another WiiWare game called
just not all too much.
Phalanx. Mr. Mosquito 2 came out on the PlayStation 2 in 2003. So I'm yeah.
That's some weird games.
It doesn't say that they're closed. The company's mascot is a cat named Neko.
Why does the company need a mascot?
In Japan, literally everything has a mascot. Like but malls have mascots.
Why is the cat's named Neko?
It's Neko, but it's all capital Neco, which I imagine it must stand for something.
Neko means cat.
Yes,
Japanese.
I understand that, but
they named their cat Cat.
They named the cat Cat.
The way
the cat's name is Cat.
The way they stylized it suggests that there's some like double meaning to it. Whose first appearance is on
it's very possible, but for right now, I assume the cat's name is Cat.
Just it. They were not creative.
They were, but at the same point in time, it just kind of makes you go, did you really just name it that?
If you go to their website, the game that they are most prominently advertising is an iOS and Android game called, where is that? Chronicle Gate. I'm guessing it's a Japan only thing though. They're probably only doing stuff in Japan right now, judging from the website.
Well, I'm gonna look.
Probably. I would see that just being a thing. That's just what they would end up doing.
When you look up Chronicle Gate on the Apple Store, you get New York Times. So I don't think it's in the US.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think so either.
Anywho,
oh man, there are just so many that you can go off of. Just the one, just from Knights of the Old Republic, I would like to see two games were ones that came into my mind because I just picked back up Knights of the Old Republic 2 to continue my playthrough over on my channel, and I want to see one with Bastila. Again, it's going to be like a prequel to before when she meets up with Revan during Knights of the Old Republic, but they say she's pretty much a genius at her age, just being able to master battle meditation. Okay, let's see that progress because she is very well aware of her parents. Let's get that backstory there. Same with like Mission Vale. Let's see how she actually met Zalbar. Let's get all of this information because there's so much that could be learned there. And another one I would like to see, kind of like an in-between game, is Malik. While his like overthrow of Revan until his fall. Kind of something along the lines of the Force Unleashed.
Yeah, exactly.
I half expected you to.
That'd be kind of fun to see.
Dark Side, man. Seriously, like any Dark Side games, because there's most of the Star Wars games follow what would be considered protagonists of the whole series.
There is one fairly obvious thing that I think that I'm surprised that neither of you suggested. There could be a game called Star Wars: Meatbags that could come out of that. That's really dark side.
Yeah. I mean,
I think that's more just kind of chaotic neutral.
Yeah, that's true.
Because he'll kill meatbags, light side, dark side, as long as the pay's good.
Yes,
exactly.
But that would be a cool one just to see, just adventures of Star Wars executing meatbags.
Yes.
Oh man, I'm just like thinking. Like I was like going through in my head like all the different games, and I'm like, man, do we not know the story of very well, or at least it's not documented in a game. And another one I thought of here is Sergeant Johnson.
Yes.
How the heck did he get off of Halo?
Okay. So here's first of all. Yes, he does need his own game.
Probably in a book somewhere.
He does need his own game.
For gamers,
I do.
Requires reading. I don't want to read.
He does need his own game, but that game would most definitely be retelling the story of several books, which do elaborate quite a bit on his backstory and what he all is and does. Man, his backstory. He's just a badass. I just want to know how the fuck he got off Halo. To give you an idea of how badass he is. In the 25 novels that currently encompass the Halo series, Sergeant Johnson is the only character to have a sex scene.
I mean, I can't say I blame him.
That doesn't make it. Yeah, it makes perfect sense to me.
I'm not surprised whatsoever. Seeing as in Reach, the voice line for him when you're testing out the voice in Firefight is, "Son, I may be a daddy, but yeah, I might be your daddy."
I'm actually
but the dog beat me over the fence.
I'm reading a book right now that's set the year after the wars with the Covenant started, and both the Chief and Sergeant Johnson are in the same unit, going after Covenant ships, launching to infiltrate them, and then insert nukes inside of them to blow them up from the inside. So, yeah, it's pretty badass what they're doing.
Yeah, because it involves Sergeant Johnson.
Yeah, man.
He is the best Halo character to ever exist. Don't at me.
343, get on it.
I mean, you could play Halo Wars 2, where he's an optional leader that happens to.
I want an FPS, not an RTS.
He walks around with a mech body with just his head on top.
Don't care.
Yeah, I want to play as Sergeant Johnson.
Okay.
I want there to be and like in some of the buttons on the controller need to be snarky one-liners. Like
just has a hotkey to it that you have to press this combination on the D-pad just for a snarky one-liner.
Like how Spider-Man has finger guns.
You have to hit the button quick enough, otherwise you don't say it.
You don't say it right and you die.
No, you just don't say it. Period. It's just a quick little flip up that shows up that you have to do this funny one-liner, and people will miss it at first, and then they're going to go back and play the game.
Like how in the
and on each when you up the difficulty on Legendary, it only flicks on the screen like for an instant as to when to do it. It's, as you said, just better ones.
It's like in how in the new Spider-Man game, there's a button so you can give people finger guns.
Oh, that's not as cool. That's not as cool.
I just heard a part of me die on the inside.
Yeah. Oh man, other side characters who deserve a game.
I'd like to kind of see. I don't know how much you guys played of GTA 5. I want to see a side background of Trevor.
Brother.
Oh yeah, just Trevor. Trevor game.
Just Trevor, just because it's definitely going to be rated M. But I just want to see a backstory with him.
Yeah, man. How do you get like that?
Meth.
Yeah, so much.
Probably.
Like all of the city's
as one of the
meth.
missions you do with him is to blow up a meth lab.
Yeah, right. I
mean,
he's essentially the Breaking Bad character of GTA 5.
He's a lot of different characters in GTA 5. He's the one just like, why is this guy here? But he has so many scenes. I haven't finished the story mode of it, but when he sees Michael's kids, he's got so many good moments with them where it's just like, holy crap, this guy actually does care. And then he becomes a monster.
Yeah,
and so it just kind of makes you question of, wait, is he am I really supposed to like him because he's so sweet to Michael's kids and sees them as his own and doesn't want to see them get hurt? And he just kicked that guy's face in.
Oh man, list of games that I need to replay.
But
also at the same time, like I only own it on Xbox 360. I do not want to rebuy it for Xbox One unless it's like $5. But it's never going to be that way.
Oh, GTA 5?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I played it on
that'll
360.
Be something. Just get a good computer. You'll be fine.
Man, I don't got money for computers.
I mean, you can run it on your Mac. It'll be fine. Where's the store?
Oh my gosh,
I
would run it on my Mac.
As someone who
my Mac would burst into flames.
Yeah, as someone who purposefully overpaid for their Mac back in 2010, 2010 games did not run so well on my like upscale Mac at the time. It's not a that's not a
like I feel like
path.
I could barely play Pong on my computer.
However, to be fair, as the time we are recording right now,
Mm-hmm.
GTA 5 is on sale for a special promotion for the next 14 hours for $19.79.
Yeah, but on Steam, I'm not gonna buy it on Steam.
Just
anyway,
saying.
I have other things that are coming up that I want to buy.
Well, absolutely. I don't play all that much GTA 5 anymore to begin with, just because.
Yeah,
wait, even the premium.
Because I am a single player kind of person.
I'm just kind of more surprised that their premium edition is $32.99. I don't even know what that entails, but I'm not even going to click on it.
It gives you essentially in-game money for the online thing.
Well, it gives you some. It looks like it gives some other stuff too, but
I'm more of from their stuff looking forward to Red Dead.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, Red Dead looks fucking amazing.
If only it comes out for PC.
Yeah.
Here's just like a random side character. Well, not really a side character, but a game, something that you see in a game that you just want to know more about. Companion Cube.
Oh, yeah.
I
don't think I need a side game for Companion Cube. What I want to do is I want to see an alternate universe in which you can save Companion Cube.
Mods, get on this.
I mean, no, people have done it. I've definitely seen glitches in which they can get the companion cube through, but like I want like a legitimate like one. Valve hasn't like created anything new in a while.
True.
So they need to get on that. I know I've lost complete hope in Half-Life 3, even though it totally should happen.
Well, they flat out said it's not happening.
I know, but why?
Maybe it's an elaborate play. That's what they want us to think. When everyone finally gives up on it, they're just gonna drop it.
Okay, dropping my current point of view here to like this would be the most epic thing. So one of the biggest games that I'm waiting for right now, and I'm pretty sure Brent's waiting for it too here, is CD Projekt's Red next game. Cyberpunk's 2077.
Mm-hmm.
What if this would be like the fucking like end of the freaking world if they announce the day that it's going to come out and then like a month before it comes out Valve's like, oh hey, that same day we're releasing Half-Life 3.
I'm buying Cyberpunk in that case.
Oh my god, but Half-Life 3.
Okay, so
I would definitely buy Cyberpunk too, but like, holy shit!
I mean, I've lost count of the number of times that I've played Half-Life 2, and unless they have like something really new to pull out, like other than finishing off the story
just finish the story.
Well, so first of all, they released their script that they had that actually does tie up the story, which of course is not enough. But they did give resolution to those who really cared about that, and it's just a matter of like, okay, as long as if they can tie it up and then they can sort of tie Portal into it, then I'd be happy. But at the same time, it's been so long that I'm not really invested in it anymore, and I'd much rather get into Cyberpunk.
I could certainly see that. That'd be a fair point. It's been quite some time, and there are other games that are coming out that might be more hyped up than something like that. Because last thing you want is something like that where everyone's wanting it, and then it just sucks.
Now there was there's a YouTube channel called NoClip, which does these documentaries on video games and the developers and such. And they had this, there's this game called Frog Fractions. The point of Frog Fractions was that it is precisely not about frogs or fractions. And it was this, I have played it. It is possible to finish it in between 15 and 30 minutes. It is extremely short. Every step of it completely breaks every one of your expectations you could possibly have for what it's going to do next. The entire point of it is to break expectations. And so, people asked the guy who made it to make a sequel and said, okay, but here's the thing. If the point of the game is to break expectations, and I release the game and I call it Frog Fractions 2, I already half my job can't be done because you're expecting it to just be the same thing. I have to I have to do something else crazy to make the very premise work. So he told people, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you the day that it comes out, and you're going to have to find it. And so what he did is he released the game inside of another Steam game that he thought no one in the world... He contacted a developer and he's like, okay, eventually people are going to find my game and they're going to buy your game because my game is in it. But people will get to play your game then, and so you will still get money out of it. And and you won't have to worry as much about going marketing, and so like, yeah, okay, fine, this is a great inside joke kind of a thing. And so it released inside this like fairy farm game on Steam.
I gotta go look for it.
I can't even remember the name. It was fairy something.
I'm watching someone play through Frog Fractions right now.
Yeah.
What is this game?
It starts off looking like one of those Mac games where you're like a frog and you have to like lick the answer to the question, but the only thing you're licking is fractions. There's no actual question. You're just
you lick the bugs and then there's a fraction.
Other stuff happens, and so at one point it drops you into a text adventure. At one point, like you're flying a dragon for no apparent reason.
I'm just trying to get to the end of this first section, and then I love the score. The score reads as a fraction.
Yeah.
That's great.
The whole game is...
Oh my god, no, it's even not crazier. So wow. There's a part where you have to type in a word to get the thing, and then you get points. But the person's score right now is 5.39 E plus 2.
The score means nothing. The score is utterly meaningless.
It's amazing.
Well then.
So my reason for thinking of this is, what if, against all odds, Half-Life 3 is like in an arcade cabinet inside of Cyberpunk?
It's gonna be in some other place. It's gonna be there.
Interesting.
And it'll start up, and you won't be Mr.
No,
Freeman.
Like
you'll be Shell.
Title of the podcast of this episode is Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Illuminati confirmed.
No, Half-Life 3, not Illuminati.
Half-Life 3.
The verdict's still out on the Illuminati, but we've just confirmed Half-Life 3.
Mm-hmm. It's gonna be in.
Clickbait it, sell it, put it on a T-shirt.
There is definitely Half-Life 3 confirmed memes.
Well, there have been for years.
Yeah, but no, it's not gonna happen. Sad day.
We'll keep talking about it though, but
it needs to happen.
That's probably a good place to end us for tonight.
Half-Life 3.
We're getting into conspiracy. We're getting into conspiracy theories, basically. So, as always, if you'd like to support the podcast, please visit patreon.com/streamofgaming. You can email us at streamofgaming@gmail.com if you have any ideas, questions, pretty much anything.
Leave some comments, some likes,
some comments
on the YouTube.
We're available on YouTube. We're also on SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts, iTunes. Whichever floats your boat.
Tweet at us at streamofgaming.
Correct. Sure. All of the social medias that aren't Instagram. We will eventually
get on that.
Oh God.
Even though we don't really post anything on anything.
It'll just be pictures of Bosco. That's all it's going to be.
Dante Bosco?
Sure.
No, I think
yes.
it needs to be pictures of Marcus's cat,
Ooh, which one?
Mittens.
Oh, okay. That's what I was thinking, but I wasn't sure if we were talking about Mittens or Clara.
I'm always talking about Mittens.
Of course, but there was the one in me the part of me that wanted to be safe.
Okay. I think we should either that or we should just like build up the image of Mittens and then post one picture.
No.
Like
You could see Mittens over on my channel. He's
That's
around
true.
somewhere. He
That's
pokes
true.
his
You
head
can-
around every
if-
so often.
I actually have been meaning we need to at this part. I know we're like trying to close up here, but as a part of the podcast, we should also probably tell people where each of us is at. That if people want to follow us as well, on different things.
We'll do that next time. We got lots of stuff here. I know we've covered quite a bit today. We'll continue rambling if we do.
Yes, true.
As always, I'm Brent.
I'm Kyle.
And I'm Marcus.
And this has been Stream of Gaming.
Bye.
Bye-bye.